Hello, and welcome to episode 21 of the Commodity Podcast. And for this episode, we're discussing mansions, quality of life updates, and much, much more. I'm your host, Gunter, and last week I was in full on grind mode. In episode 20, we discussed my plans for the new Michael DLC. My budget for the DLC was 15 to 50 million, and I figured mansions would probably cost me about 10 to 15 million and another 5 million for vehicles. I knew Rockstar would probably drip feed these vehicles, so just to make sure I had enough, on Monday, I did all the salvage yard robbery missions that were available for the week prior. I had to collect the Juggler, the Jester RR, and the Stinger GT. And once I collected all three vehicles, I basically sold them in order of the highest payout. So the first vehicle I sold was the Juggler. For that vehicle, I earned 346,000. And then for the next two vehicles, I earned 335,000, and that was the Stinger GT and the Jester RR, with an overall total of 1,016,000 that was earned from my salvage yard business last week. Another business I made a massive profit from was my nightclub business. The nightclub was about 75% full, or about 1.5 million after Tony's cut. So I sold the nightclub goods in a small lobby with probably about 10 people, including myself. Once I completed the nightclub sales, I made 2.3 million. The last sale I made before ending my DLC prep was a super easy bunker sale. And for this one, I earned 315,000 from it. And after, I deposit all the cash that I had on hand. And at this point, I think I had about 60 million. So on Tuesday, I didn't play GTA Online at all. The only thing I did was write down ideas that I have for videos, some thumbnail ideas, and I did watch a few YouTube videos, but nothing crazy. Mostly related to the E39 M5, the Ferrari 365, and the Porsche 928. Specifically, the 928 that was built between 1983 and 89. After I went to bed, I woke up early, like 5 a.m. sharp on Wednesday. I turned on my console to check the updates, and what do you know? No damn update. I started spamming my update refresh button for like 2 minutes and nothing. So instead, I made a good pour over coffee and enjoyed a good wake and bake session. 30 minutes later, the update was available and it was now downloading. So the last time I played GTA Online, I set my spawn location for my property in Vinewood Hills. When I logged on, I got the text from Avi Schwartzman to start the KnoWay mission. I've already released a video on how to start these missions and the full walkthrough on all of the missions for this DLC, which took me nearly 4 hours to export and another 2 hours to upload to YouTube. If you want to know how to start the Avi mission, but experience these missions firsthand for yourself, then just check out the how to start video. And if you're having trouble with these missions, then check out our full guide in the card above. So before purchasing, I checked out all the properties on the Prix Luxury Real Estate website. The first property is Tungva Estate Mansion. This is Devin Weston's old mansion with a slightly new design. The property is the furthest from the city and has a base price of 9,500,000 on discount, or 11,500,000 for the full price. The second property is the Richmond Villa, and this property is located in the city and probably has the best view of Richmond and Rockford's Hill. It's more expensive than the other two locations, with a base price of 10,800,000 on discount, or 12,800,000 for the full price. The last mansion location is Vinewood Residence. This property is closer to the city than the Tungva Mansion, and I think this location has the second best view with a base price of 10,200,000 on discount, or 12,200,000 for the full price. The best location is probably the Vinewood Residence. That's the mansion I purchased. It's not the cheapest, but also it's not the most expensive. Plus, this location is located to most of my businesses, which is located in Rockford Hills, Marietta Heights, and Strawberry. I would purchase the Tungva Mansion if I own a property in Blaine County, or if I own a bunker that is close to the location, or if this is the only one I could afford. Richmond, on the other hand, I would purchase if I wanted a mansion that was in the city and if money is not a problem. Or maybe if I wanted Michael's introduction about being my neighbor to be more accurate because his house is located in Richmond Hills. Now, for interior design, I kept the free tint. Personally, I like the minimal aesthetic. I did check the other option like mint, lavender, and peach, but I think eggshell was probably the best option for me. I also added the diamond pattern for 240,000. And for decor, I did like both Los Santos loft and the San Andreas coastal, but sticking to the minimal aesthetic, I'm gonna keep the free Los Santos loft decor. For additional room options, I did pick the podium for 650,000, and I also picked up the vehicle workshop for 880,000. After reading the description about security, something along the line of how they can reduce the risk of your business being targeted. I also added this as an option too, which I had to pay a hefty $1,750,000 for. The last thing I added was the Haviland AI feature, which is probably the best sounding AI assist in my opinion. Angel sounds too freaky, and OG would be annoying to hear all the time. The total spent on the Vinewood residence plus interior design and features cost 13,725,000. I estimated that the mansion will cost about 10 to 15 million, so 13 million is actually really not that bad. After purchasing, I set the waypoint and went to the location to check out my new mansion, which I recently released a full tour video of. If you would like to see the inside of the Vinewood Residence Mansion before you purchase, then check the card above. After recording the house tour, I then purchased the Grotti GT750, Fister Extreme, and the Sentinel XS4. I also released customization and test drive video for both the Sentinel XS4, which is based on the E39 5 Series, and the GT750, which is based on the Ferrari 365. The Fister Extreme, which is based on the Porsche Mission X, will be coming to the channel this week, so stay tuned. Now that we all had a few days to enjoy the Mansion DLC, how do you guys feel about the Mansion features? Personally, I think adding the AI feature was a nice touch to this update. I also like that when you enter the property, you're greeted by the AI. You can also interact with Haviland for various tasks like boosting a business, fast travel to other apartments, and so much more. Another cool feature is exterior parking. I'm pretty much known for parking outside of my property instead of driving into my garage, especially if I'm going to my apartment to shower or to chill if the lobby is extremely toxic. So having the ability to park outside is perfect for me. Plus, you get two parking spaces outside. Another dope parking spot is the podium spot. Currently, I have my PR4, which is spec as the McLaren and Honda MP4 F1 car from the 90s. The last two quality of life update features that I also like is the ability to work out. This is something I plan on adding to my morning routine in game. And I wish we could see a physical change with our characters as you lift more weights or the possibility to gain weight if you don't work out. I'm guessing this is something we will see in GTA 6, but I guess we have to wait to see if the game ever comes out. The last feature is probably one of the most requested features within the GTA Online community, and that's the option to own pets. To be honest, I love that Rockstar did this, and I know a lot of players are hyped that this feature is in the game as well. There are plenty features within the Mansion DLC. So far, I've released a video explaining my top 3. Be sure to check out the channel for that video. So, just to wrap up this week's Mansion update, for the Vinewood residence and all 3 vehicles, we spent a total of 19,286,000 so far. There are more vehicles scheduled for drip feed release, so this amount will increase soon. In the meantime, I will be grinding this week's double money on the meth business, in addition to my regular solo method, which includes the salvage yard, nightclub, and the bunker businesses. Currently, I'm down to 40 million, and I do plan to at least get back to 50 million before next Thursday's update. Speaking of updates, here's an update on my December vehicle rotation picks. In episode 20, I mentioned using the Classe Vigoro as my daily driver and the Vapid Caracara 4x4 as my winter beater for the snow. I also mentioned that if the M5 Inspire Sentinel released in the first week of the DLC, I'll purchase that and use it as my daily driver. So now, for my December vehicle rotation options, my pick will be the Sentinel XS4 and the Vapid Caracara 4x4. Also, last week, someone commented on one of my videos saying that there will be no snow this year. And I want to know if this is true. I haven't seen any information about this, but if you have, please let me know in the comments below. Overall, I'm hype about this DLC, probably more than I thought I would be. Shout outs to all Rockstar devs and everyone who had a hand in making this DLC possible. From me and everyone within the community, we thank you. As usual, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to check out our test drive series, which release on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our podcast, which releases on Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, you can get in touch with me on Instagram at Gunter Browne, or you can email me at inquiry.gb@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening this week, and please join us for the next episode of the Commodity Podcast.